Hi Team DPS, it's your host, Natalie Brigham. Welcome back to DPS Snapshots, the show where we give you the top 5 stories you need to know for the week. I wanted to quickly take a moment to thank our guest host, Emma, for filling in the other week. I was out on a professional development opportunity. I got to go to Guanajuato, Mexico with my adult Spanish class, Ave Español, to learn about Dia de los Muertos. The multilingual education department introduced me to the Spanish class taught by former DPS teacher Jillian Rush. I'll link more information about the class in our show notes. I can't recommend it enough. If you're able to snag a spot in one of her upcoming sessions, you'll love it and be learning lots. I'll link out some of my favorite photos from the trip too if anyone wants to take a peek. But without further ado, let's dive in. Our first story is about the Denver Schools Thrive initiative and addressing declining enrollment in Denver. In case you missed it, the superintendent made his recommendation to address the impact of declining enrollment in our district last week. Columbian Elementary School, Castro Elementary School, Schmidt Elementary School, International Academy of Denver at Harrington, and Palmer Elementary School are the elementary schools recommended for closure. Denver School for Innovation and Sustainable Design and West Middle School are the secondary schools recommended for closure. And then Koonsmiller Creative Arts Academy, Dora Moore, and Denver Center for International Studies Baker are the schools that will prepare for grade level restructures. Team DPS has made each of the affected schools an individual school webpage that explains the specific rationale for why the school is a part of the superintendent's recommendation. Those specific web pages are linked in our show notes. The Board of Education will vote on this recommendation on November 21st. Since the recommendation has been presented, the board has been engaging in meetings and having special public comments at each of the schools recommended for closure. From November 18th to November 21st, the superintendent will hold engagement meetings at each of the schools recommended for closure. These meetings are opportunities for staff and families to hear directly from the superintendent about why their school was included as part of the recommendation. Staff and families will also learn about what support their school community can expect from the district during this time of transition. Also on November 18th, there will be a public comment. Only individuals who have not previously signed up and spoken to the board at one of the special public comment meetings at an impacted school will be allowed to speak at this meeting. And then, like we said before, the Board of Education will vote on November 21st. If you have additional questions, I encourage you to visit the Denver Schools Thrive Initiative webpage. We'll link that for you in our show notes. Our second story is about National School Psychology Week. This week, schools across the country celebrated National School Psychology Week to highlight the important work of school psychologists in helping students succeed. In DPS, we have more than 200 licensed school psychologists and graduate students. School psychologists work on prevention and intervention at all levels and lead mental health screening efforts like the BESS. They assess, support, and consult on special education evaluations, especially in areas like cognitive assessments. They also mentor new school psychologists and supervise graduate students, guiding the next generation of providers. Our school psychologists are not only leaders in our schools, they also share their expertise by presenting at state and national conferences and serving on the board of the Colorado Society of School Psychologists. To our psychologists, thank you for your hard work and incredible contributions to our colleagues, students, and families. Our third story is about an upcoming webinar, talking with your kids about substance use. Join the DPS Substance Use Prevention team on November 20th at noon for an informative session on how to discuss substance use with your kids. This conversation can be daunting, but the team is here to help you navigate it. You can register through the link in our show notes. Spanish interpretation will be available. Our fourth story is about finding out if you qualify for government benefits at MyFriendBen. Did you know you might be missing out on money you're eligible for? Many people don't realize they qualify for benefits or just don't have time to find them. That's why the Denver Mayor's Office and Denver Human Services are collaborating with MyFriendBen. It's a tool that screens for over 50 public benefits, including funds specific to Denver like property tax rebates, after-school programming, and more. On average, in 6 minutes, you will know the cash value of those programs and the time it takes to apply, so you can quickly decide what's right for you. If you have questions, you can find the answers on MyFriendBen. We have it linked in our show notes. Our fifth and final story. November is Native American Heritage Month. Are you curious about learning more about Native American Heritage Month? I'll link some resources in our show notes. One to highlight though, Beluga is a DPS partner that connects K-12 students and teachers worldwide with real-world content that's personalized. Beluga is celebrating National American Heritage Month with content like She Carries It Forward. This documentary and learning experience is a tribute to Indigenous women, an exploration of Native American culture, and a celebration of a woman's journey from her roots to the world stage. This content has received incredible feedback from classrooms as it brings together numerous topics in the educational world. And that's our show for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to our show to never ever miss an episode. Thank you to the external team for their help in producing this episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye!